Welcome back. If you've been following along with the project so far, you'll know what's beneath these bits of wood. Oh yes, that's perfect. I am very pleased with that. Let's take a look at the other junction. That's come out really well too. Oh, that top step has come. There's a little bit of staining there, which will need jet washing off. But that top step's gone in nicely. Those top corner blocks, and that transition is perfect. Perfect. Just get rid of those bits there as well. Might just need a little bit of softening off of that bumpy bit there, that transition, but that's brilliant. Need to remove the wooden shuttering, tidy the place up, get rid of all this surface rubbish, give the place a bit of a tidy up. We're good. Let's have a go at knocking this shuttering off here and tidying up. I don't really want to leave any of this concrete rubbish in the soil, so I'll scrape off all the rubbish that I need to. Oh, they come out really easily. I think it's important to get rid of the rubbishy concrete bits off the flower bed. Makes the soil condition a whole load better. Just take the worst off there. Also don't need quite as much of this banking here, so I'm just going to remove the lower part of that. Concrete's well set. It's been about 3 days, 3 or 4 days since I laid this concrete, so there we are, just that bottom bit. So I can bank the soil up here nicely and get that tidy. Right, let's get this bit of shuttering away from here. And the bits of rubbish. I'll keep these safe because I might end up using them as the final bits of timber work since I've cut them. I put these bits in here just to hold this side of the track bed up while that concrete was going off, but now that that's in, I'm hoping I don't need to leave this in place at all. I will have additional piers further back here though, in due course. There we go. Oh, brilliant, didn't move. Let's tidy up this quarter here now. I like it when shuttering does its job and comes out then afterwards really easily. Saves a load of bother. He says easily, quite easily, but not very easily. Here we go. Don't know why I'm putting that back there. Little feature for the moment. Right, a little bit of surface finishing is needed in a few places. It's not unusual, it's difficult to float the concrete absolutely sort of perfectly the way I want it. There's always the odd little run-off surface, well, kind of imperfection I suppose, and here, just as I float it over to the timber work, it's a little bit high. So while the concrete is sort of slightly green, although it's a day more than I might have usually targeted, I just use a flat side of a stone and rub. All it does then is takes off the high spots. That's assuming it's basically flat and smooth the way I want it. It just takes off the high spots. Especially here, because that actually slightly rises up. Right, the next part of the project is to cut the cable grooves that go under the track. For almost every metre of track that I lay, there's a cable groove under the running rail so that I can provide track power and all the control systems for that section of track. The groove is cut about 1 centimetre deep and about 1 centimetre wide, thereabouts, depending on the context and the number of cables. You may have seen that in previous videos. It's just the same. To mark it out, I mark the centre line of the track about 35 millimetres of the track centre. It's easy here. Where it gets a bit more tricky to work out is at junctions, of course, but I'll work that out as I go. I used up most of my old chalk, so I bought a new box of chalk for this job. Okay, so let's start with marking out the centre. That's easy. And then 35 millimetres in due course to the right. However, this is a straight piece, so it gets a bit more tricky. Let's go 35 millimetres to the right. Oh dear, breaking the chalk. And that becomes 135 from this rail. So on the basis there is a fairly straight bit of track here, I'm going to stick with that for the moment. It doesn't have to be absolutely exact. It's mostly hidden, and I have to adjust it anyway. So that's a starting point. So that will become a groove. Let's just do a little check of the points, make sure they are okay. Got to be careful also that where I wanted to put some screws in, I go straight into the main part of the track bed and not where the cable grooves are. Here it gets a little bit more complicated, obviously. Right, let's make a start. Well, that's good progress made. That forms this particular junction. Clearly I've got to cut that one as well over there. There will need to be some further adjustment, so there's more to do, but that's good so far. Oh, it's the last bit of the orange. Not that orange is important, of course. Excellent. That's mostly done on this in this area. I'll have to come back inevitably and just fiddle around with a little bit more. Sometimes if the cable bundle's bigger than I might think it looks, or I've left a little knobbly bit, quite often have to come back and nibble, but I can easily do that before laying the track. Good. Excellent. I'm really pleased with that. So apart from sweeping up a little bit of the dust, that's that job done. What a difference a couple of weeks makes in an area of garden railway development. Super pleased. Brilliant, brilliant. So I think the next bit of work is for me to continue cutting some more grooves. There's a little bit around the back of the shed that I've got to do, and there's double curve here, cutting those grooves in. So I'll finish that off, and then there'll be cable bundle production, which I haven't done for a while, and then laying of track. Hurrah, laying of track again. I'll put track down, take it back up, put it down, take it back up. Hopefully the next time I put down a track in this area, it'll be for good. We'll see, won't we? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Bearings are going, I think. I've had to also swap out the new for a new disc. It's quite an amazing change in diameter on a diamond disc. It still wears away, obviously, but this grinder is about 35, 40 years old, and the bearings, the main bearing at the top here, I think, is on its way out. Don't know how much more life I'm going to get out of it. Bless it. Anyway, crack on. Yep, good job done for today. Very pleased with all of this. It's coming together on really well. Let's start at the Linleys Junction station and take a look to see what the track bed looks like right now. So let's start all the way down at Linleys station. Well, to start off with, this is still a complete mess. That's the double diamond crossover junction area, and I've got those rough bits in just to try and work out some of the dimensions, but that's another story. Let's walk up the line, the suburban line here. This is where we're going, suburban line. Track's obviously lifted for the moment, and I've cut the groove in all the way along here, all the way around the back of the shed. So track bed, groove cut all the way round, bit of a tight fit through here, all the way around the back and on to approach the new junction. So just here there'll be a signal position just ahead of the points, and then moving on around we've got the new set of points junction here. And you'll know exactly what's going on here in this new junction area if you've caught up with previous episodes of this mini-series. And then moving on around past this wonky tree, track obviously loosely just laid down there, all the grooves cut for the power supply and control systems. Continuing round, here we go, round, 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 back on the suburban of course, back into Linleys station. Yep, I think that's it for this time. Thank you for watching and bye for now.